Oh, hello. And thank you so much for joining me on my podcast today. I am so thankful to be here on another beautiful day here in Florida. It is 70 something degrees. And so this is a time that I am going to start to do my spring cleaning. Now, if you live in a place like Chicago or in the northern sections, we know that, you still got some weather that's still, where you're going to have freezing weather and that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and start my spring cleaning. I filed for my income tax about 4 weeks ago at the toward the end of January, and I did receive my income tax check already direct deposited into my banking account. So I do my own taxes, and I always send them in. I use TurboTax, but I send them in the last week in January, and usually before February the 9th or the 8th, I get the refund in direct deposit. So I got that money, and I am so happy that, I was able to do my taxes. I'm a single older person, so I don't have a lot of what I would say bills to itemize and those type things. I don't have that kind of thing. And so, for those who don't know me, I am a Desert Storm veteran. I'm a retired RN nurse, work for the federal government. Um, I am a January baby. Okay, I have had two children. I've had children. I've had a couple of husbands. I'm just saying, I've lived my life. Okay, from Chicago is my original place that I lived most of my life on the west side. I lived around prostitutes. I've lived around many pimps. I lived around people who were what I would call in the type mafia type game scenario. And I've had a really good life. I've met some very important people. And of course, I've dated some very famous people, per se, when I was coming up. And I'm not going to say their names, but, some were pro basketball players, some were entertainers. So I was out there. I did a little stand up comedy when I lived in Atlanta. And I'm just living my life retired here in Florida. But I'm on an FBA journey. That's where I'm at right now. I'm on this FBA journey to figure out how and what information I need so that I can be able to file for reparations restitution. And one of the things that I'm learning in this whole thing is that there's so many people who are really, when I say hating on people that are supporting the FBA movement, I never in my life would have thought that there's so much disdain and hate for people like myself who are following the FBA. Now, we already know that there's a lot of things that are going on when it comes to restoration, restitution, and reparations. There are different names that people use. They use indigenous, and these are the people that are from America or Americas before slavery, indigenous, and some of those are indigenous Indians, and some of those are even indigenous African. These are the things that I'm finding out. Because usually when I'm thinking indigenous Americas, I'm thinking more of just Indians type, okay? But I'm finding out that there's also indigenous black Africans as well. We're also looking at American descendants of slaves. So these are the people who are descendants of slaves here in America. And then, of course, foundational black Americans. And these are the people who founded America before slavery. Some of these people are indigenous Indians, etc. But at the end of the day, all of these different names that we use is only going to incline to go to one road. One road. All of these, put all these together, and it's heading toward one road. And that road is to reparations, to restitution and restoration. That's what it all leads to. So whatever name you feel like you need to use that pertains to you individually, that's up to you. But for me, what I see is the foundational Black Americans is kind of the genre or the lineage that I feel that my family falls up under. You get it? And I'm not going to be on this particular website or doing the podcast because I get all these tithers. You wouldn't believe how they keep coming on my comment section. I mean, on little things. Okay, so you guys know I'm an old girl. I'm old school. I'm an old girl. Okay, and I'm gonna make mistakes. I make mistakes every day. Okay, I'm gonna spell stuff that's wrong. I may say something that I have to go back and say, well, that ain't really what I read. It was something else that I read. And a good example of this, because I had to really kind of tighten somebody up. And usually I don't make comments. I just kind of like to move forward. Okay, so when I talked about, it's very important, when I talked about that the White House administration on March the 28th, what they're going to do is to ungroup. They're going to ungroup, which means that they're going to separate the Black foundational lineage Americans versus all of these other non-FBAs. Basically, that's what the White House is saying. Which means that I'm pretty sure the HBCUs are aware that the federal government is saying, look, we need to let you guys know that we're going to make the lineage distinguish so that when we give you this money, we don't want any of this money going to people who are not lineage. And that's what the White House used, that word, Native Black Americans, that lineage. That's why I know that this delineation movement is off the chain. Because now the White House, see, first Tucker Carlson, y'all remember Tucker Carlson had interviewed somebody and they was talking about FBA. Okay, but the White House officially is recognizing us as the Black Native lineage of America. So you got these groups, like I said, who are very upset about this. And they've been trying to come for me. Now, what I'm saying is this. It's no need of you coming for me. I am a Desert Storm veteran. So do you really think that any comment that you say on social media is going to in any way affect me? No, I'm laughing at you. And I'm laughing at your stupid comments. You're funny to me. It's all comedy when you start coming after me. Because I understand that me putting this information out is hurting you in your own mind sense. When actually you should not be getting this money anyway. And you may have, guess what? I'm pretty sure that some of these tithers have children that are going to these historically Black colleges who is getting money up under these historically Black colleges, allegedly. You got to say allegedly, because they'll be on there, because you know I got I got a strike on TikTok yesterday for talking about this. See, when you start talking about real stuff like this, it makes people angry. So I know it was a tither that reported me. But it's okay. I don't care. I don't make money off of TikTok. So at the end of the day, I'm also on YouTube, okay? And I'm going to put that information down here as well. So if they decide they're going to cut me from TikTok, I'm good. Because I'm still going to do my research and follow through. Because at the end of the day, like I say, all roads lead to reparations. So whether I spell it reparations or reparations, y'all know as family what the hell I'm talking about. So I don't need you coming on here trying to correct me, saying you spelled it wrong. I had two people to come on here, and I'm gonna ask you, which one do you think was the tither? So I had one person to message me and said, this is how you spell reparations. It's REPARATIONS, not REPER. So there's a typo. Instead of it being I type E for reparations. Then I got another person to come in my comment section. I see you're disseminating a lot of information, but you spelled reparations wrong. That's not how you spell it. So I'm laughing as I'm moving and reading because I already know you have already told me that you are a tither. So it's not about me spelling reparations wrong. It's about me talking about the lineage of FBAs and who qualifies for this HBCU money. That's what you're angry at. But you want to try to take it out on my grammar. You are not the TikTok grammar police. You're not. And if you are, I don't care. I take the fifth. But anyway, so looking at these loans, or not loans, but money that's allocated for just us. It's just for us. Who knew that this was going to happen? So now we can have more our descendants of FBAs going to the HBCUs. And the spots will not be taken up by people who are from Africa coming over here talking about they Black Americans, or from Jamaica. And I love you guys. I love all of y'all Black people coming from South America, coming from Haiti, all these islands, Caribbean. No, that's not, the money is not for you guys. It's not for you. We know that some of y'all was mistreated in the Caribbean, but you got to go to the Queen of England and the king over there in Spain and all them folks to get your reparations. American reparations does not belong to you because you're not a descendant. You're not an FBA. Get it through your head. And no, we don't care that you are trying to make us feel some kind of way. We're past that. We don't care about what you say about us. You're trying to divide the country. Divide the country? What are you talking about? We're not going to talk about that. I'm not going to talk about ICE with you. I don't care about that. I'm going to let them do what they do. I don't care. Unless it's affecting FBA business. Then that's what I'm concerned about. That's the bandwagon I'm on. Okay? So I'm not going to stay too long, but I just want to say that is a really, really good thing to open up a lot of these spots so that our foundational children can get into these schools, and don't have to pay a whole lot of money because the federal government is making sure that that money is going to be going to the foundational, the native lineage, Black Americans. And I've already posted, you can go back and look at some of my posts. I put it up there, the documentation, typed, written, whatever. I pulled it up so you can go and see it for yourself. But as we move forward, you're going to be seeing lots more of this type of stuff going on when it comes to our lineage stuff. You're going to see a lot more. And even now, when you Google up information, because I Googled up, what is your definition of indigenous American? What is your definition of Native American? What is the definition of ADOS? These are not just synonyms that we're using. This stuff is locked into the system now. FBA is locked into the system. And even though one of the things that I'm hoping is that way before we get to the 2030 census, way before then, that our categorization on the census is FBA. I hope it is. Because believe it or not, and I don't know why this is happening, but I was listening to a white chick the other day, and she was filling out a college application. And she said that when she went on to fill her application out, it says, if you're white, if you're black, etc., etc. So she checked on, I'm white. And then under that, it says, basically, what type of white are you? Are you Polish? Are you Italian? Are you Portuguese? Are you German? So they wanted her to identify, even as a white person, who you are. So that is very important now as it comes to who you are as a black person. Or so if you say that you are a black American, what kind of black American are you? Are you a native black? Are you an indigenous black? Are you an AD American descendant of slaves black? Or you are a you are African black from Africa who came over here, who is African American? See, these are the things that are important. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about as well is I did contact an attorney here in Florida, a attorney's office, because I wanted to get a interview. And more than likely, I'll probably have to pay for it because, nobody does nothing for free. Okay, let's just, people do things out of the good of their heart. Yeah, they do. But at the bottom line, attorneys don't do nothing for free. Just like Ben Crump. Y'all know Ben Crump. When I pulled up reparations, guess what? Reparations attorney, his was the first thing that popped up. I said, look at Ben. Tall, dark. And look, some of y'all gonna get mad. Tall, dark, and handsome. I'm just saying, Yeah, a lot of people say, he's a race baiter. Well, I'm not gonna get into all of that. I don't get into people's pocketbook. I'm past that point. If that's your thing, then that's your thing. But he popped up as the number one person that pops up for reparation attorney. Okay, I was like, wow. But anyway, there's an attorney office here. And the reason that I wanted to do that is because of the Rosewood case. The Rosewood massacre in Rosewood, Florida. And I haven't had a chance to go down there, but that's one of the places I'm going to go visit. But anyway, and the reason being is because a lot of people look at that history and they say, these people were so racist and they got paid 2 point something or $5 whatever million they got paid, because they were so racist and they destroyed the town. That's not why they got paid. So through the research, you'll find that the reason that they got paid, not because people got killed or not because they were racist and burned their town, they got paid because of the destruction of property. They got paid because of the destruction of property. They destroyed a town, and the people in that town had deeds, warranty deeds, property deeds. They had all of that stuff. They had pictures and things of their property or the store owners. Because remember, in Rosewood, they had a lot of all these different businesses too. You see what I'm saying? So that's how they got paid as they relate that to the Constitution. It wasn't because they was racist, even though we know the reason that they did it is because they were hating. They was hating on black people. We know that. But that's not why they got paid. So I just wanted to touch that basis with you. So I'll be talking to that attorney. I don't know when, hopefully within the next couple of weeks, just to get an idea of the thought process of what could I, listen to this, how can I sue? Can I sue for restoration under FBA? Or can I sue under ADOS? Because I guarantee you, don't get mad at me, if the Congress decide that American descendants of slaves is going to be able to get $1.4 million or whatever, guess what? I'm ADOS too. Don't get mad. I'm just saying, okay? Who says that I can't be a native or an indigenous and still not be ADOS. See, it's a combination of these things. We can be a few of these little things. We're not gonna strike everything out. Okay? But anyway, let me get on out of here. You guys know I am studying my Duolingo program. I'm studying Spanish. I'm doing well. I'm on page 5. I'm on, not page, but I am on day 526. So next month, I'm excited because I'll actually be going out to the neighborhood and more than likely be going to a Mexican restaurant. You know, and I know somebody gonna be saying, "Well, you're going to a Mexican restaurant and they're and they are deporting illegals." Yeah, yes, I am. I'm gonna go to the Mexican restaurant, and if I'm in there and they're deporting somebody, I'm just gonna scoop my chair over and get out the way. Get out the way, babe. Get out the way. Get out the way, babe. Get out the way. I know I ain't shit. But it is. I'm not getting involved in all that. I'm just saying. I'm focused here. So, no, I'm not going to argue with you and debate with you on these particular posts. I'm just going to block you. That's what I'm going to do. It's easy to just do that. It's easy. Instead of going back to comment on why I spelled reparations wrong. I make a lot of mistakes. There's some stuff on here that I done said probably made a mistake. So look at it. It says, your live is flagged for hate speech and hateful behaviors. Repeated violations could result in your live being discontinued. Would you believe that shit? Let me show y'all this. Okay. Look at that, what it says. I keep telling you. What did I say that was hateful? Because of somebody on here is just mad. So I had to put okay. You see what I'm saying? They just restricted me. So as I said, they may end up removing me. And that's okay. You see? But check this out. But they can come on TikTok and they can twerk. And they can cuss. And they can do everything else. But if I come on and I say something, now it's hate speech. Because I'm saying that I support FBA. You cannot make this stuff up. You just cannot make it up. So as I said, I'm going to start putting some information about my YouTube channel as well. Because I'm going to say what I need to say. And it's not because I'm cussing. See, if I was cussing, that'd be one thing. But they're saying, I'm saying hate speech. Who did I hate? I'm not hating anybody. I just said I love everybody. That's all. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get out of here. You guys have a great day. But the movement is going to continue. You can call it what you want to call it, but the movement is going to continue on. Power to the people. Say it loud. I'm black and I'm proud. But anyway, let me get on out of here. You guys take care. The reason that I decided to come back on, because I'm going to go back through my people who are following me to see what people are saying. So let me go back. I see you guys. Because this will tell me, depending on people's comments or what they say. It's so many. I had no idea all these people on here. There's a lot of folks on here. Ooh, there's a whole lot of people. Probably maybe could be close to 500 or 600 people that come and listen to these particular posts. Y'all excuse me, because like I said, I want to go back through here to see if I see any negative counts, negative comments. But you guys can click off, okay? Let me see. I see any negative comments. See a lot of people that join, but I don't really see any negative comments. But you would think that everything on TikTok, how do they know I'm saying something hateful? There's a lot of people on TikTok every day doing a lot of stuff. But they usually do it if somebody sends them something and say that I'm doing something that is doing hate speech. Somebody thank me for my service. You're welcome. Hey, Dr. Jackson. How you doing? Let me go further. But anyway, as I said before, yeah, I got violation. This is my second one in 2 days. And it's interesting when I'm talking about this information, why this seems to be so hateful. You got to ask yourself, why? But anyway, you guys take care. Bye-bye. And I'm going to upload this again. So if you want to go back and you missed it, you can click back on in about an hour or so. And this whole thing is going to be on this station again. Bye-bye.